Today we're going to go over the Winchester Model 12, which was probably the most durable and popular gun of the 20th century. We're going to start with a Model 12 trap gun in a 12 gauge. This was a gun that was used by Tom Knapp. He was a shooter for Winchester on a lot of the television shows back in the late between 1970 to 85, somewhere in there. Anyway, this is a beautiful example of a nice gun. It's got some beautiful wood on it, some burl walnut, and again, it's just a good example of American workmanship. This gun is no longer being made, and they're becoming more sought after all the time, especially ones in good quality condition. Alright, here's another one of the Winchester Model 12s, but this is in a Skeet grade for you people out there that shoot Skeet. Another one of Tom Knapp's guns that probably seen a lot of clay birds busted over the years. All of these are takedown models, and you simply push the button, rotate the magazine tube a half turn, and then you're able, holding everything forward, you're able to rotate it a half a turn, pull it apart, clean both the barrel and the action, and reassembling simply the same way again, a half a turn. You move everything completely back down to the original position, push the button back on the top, and it's fully assembled and ready to go. Alright, this is a fairly rare gun. The fact that it's got a solid rib on the top, if it can be seen or not, I'm not sure. But this is more of a working man's gun. It does not have the fancy burl walnut on it. It's in a 16 gauge, again a takedown. This is what you went out in the woods and you got your squirrels or rabbits, turkey, whatever happened to be in the area that you're needing to feed your family back in those days. Anyway, like I said, this is a very unusual gun. There's very few of them that have a rib. Most of them just were the utility plain model or plain barrel versions. And if you find one of these, again, they're very collectible, but look for the rib if you want a true collectible. Anyway, that's, again, like I said, this is the true hunting man's utility gun back at that time. 16 gauge was very popular. It's not quite as popular anymore because there's too many other calibers very close and similar in ballistics to it. But again, this was a working man's gun in its day. Alright, moving along with the different gauges. This is again more of a utility gun. It's a 20 gauge Model 12 Winchester, another takedown. Now this one has a vent rib. Most of the guns at the time, again, the utility guns did not have the vent ribs. These probably cost another $3 to put on at the time, and that was a lot of money when these guns were being produced back in the 1920s, 30s, 40s, whatever. A 20 gauge was more likely to be used by a little younger hunter because of the recoil was less, and maybe even some of the ladies were out shooting these. Of course, there is no specific age or group that couldn't shoot any of them. But again, just a real good example of a nice 20 gauge Model 12 that, again, highly sought after. The smaller the gauge, the more valuable the gun as far as the collectible ranks go. And less of them were probably made also. This right here is the rarest of the collection. That's a Model 12 Winchester, again, in a 28 gauge. Again, this one has some very fine burl walnut on it, has a vent rib. My understanding there were only about 2,500 of these made. This one particular gun was made in 1929, so it won't be too long, it'll be 100 years old. And again, these were used for skeet mainly, but again, a lot of people at one time shot the 28 gauge because the lighter recoil is a little smaller than a 20 gauge, a little bigger than a 410. But again, this is the holy grail if you're collecting the Winchester Model 12s, because without one your collection would not be complete. And again, it's just a super sweet gun. Value, you're going to be looking anywhere from probably $3,000 to who knows how much. Could be $7,000 to $8,000 if you get an exceptional piece. Again, beware of frauds in this caliber, because a lot of, I won't say a lot, some people have taken 20 gauge frames and put 28 gauge barrels on and trying to sell it as such. So make sure you always look at that the numbers match both the frame and the barrel, and be very careful purchasing these. Anyway, this is the one right here. To finish out your Model 12 collection, you have to have one of these. This is actually called the Model 42. It's in a 410. Another one there's not a lot of nice ones out there, especially with again, you want to look for the vent rib if you're collecting. They're going up in value very quickly. They're good investments if you can buy one even somewhat reasonable, whatever that may be even nowadays. But again, you're looking at a gun in this condition, this kind of wood, you're looking anywhere from $2,500 plus again to quite a few thousand. But again, no collection's complete unless you have one of these. And that pretty well wraps up the Model 12 collection and all the different gauges. Guess you can cut the camera now, huh?
Oh, I did.
Oh, you did, okay. Put him on as a backdrop. Gotta be famous, Roscoe.
Roscoe.
That tail.
Come here.
There you go. Hi, bud. Hi, buddy.